Alrighty, so today is Sunday. I'm doing this here, the weekly. This is called a weekly accountability review for Sunday trading. I got this from JCS Trader. I think I did it. I did well. I didn't do a video. I tried to do a video like a couple months ago, and I accidentally started streaming instead of recording. But anyways, so I'm doing it again, and the reason why I'm doing it this week is because there was tons of opportunity this week, and I also believe I also got back into the market, and I believe I should be in putting this into my trading. What am I trying to say? I think I should into my routine more often, and I want to do a deep dive on the opportunities this week, how I lost money, even though I was on the right side, um, and what I should have done. But this is gonna get me through it, so I was gonna answer these first questions first. It's gonna be a long video. This is just for me, so I can look back on and see what was I thinking and what was I doing and what I could have done better. So, first section: pre-market execution and preparation. Out of 5 trading days, how many mornings were spent on full pre-market prep, scanning game level plans, level news flow? Every morning this week was um, spent on full market pre-market prep, and the reason why was because it shouldn't be. It should always be like this every day. But especially this week, we had huge opportunities in these minerals, batteries. These things were just insanely going parabolic, especially in these quantum names as well. Um, so, and then gold as well. So, I feel like there was a lot of opportunity leading into the week with these names, especially these metals and materials names here. The biggest being I think ABAT was an opportunity. METC was another opportunity. There was tons of opportunities in these things. The whole sector was just moving, and also some were more legit than others, and we can go and talk about that as well. And also, this one especially it just goes to show you the difference between, like, I guess, true leaders in this name and just laggards that are going with a theme. So, for example, this company's a piece of trash. Like, this is a trash company. It's worth $24 million. You can see by the way it's moved, right? I mean, this thing is up 600% in, you know 2 weeks. It has nothing. There's nothing going on with this company other than maybe this news here. But still, I mean, this was like the worst one, and I think this one made the biggest move so far. Because this was the worst one in the sector. I ended up trying to short CRML, but okay, I'm going on a tangent. Let's go back. So out of the 5 trading days, how many mornings were spent? All of them. Scanning, game plan, levels, news flow, everything was, I think, done well. I was just waiting for the opportunity. On days prep was skipped or rushed. What was the reason? They weren't skipped. None of them were rushed. I actually started waking up earlier than what I used to, about 15 minutes earlier. And some days I'd wake up earlier before my alarm, and I would just hop on the computer. Um, how did lack of prep impact results for the days? Now, I don't think there was a lack of prep. I I believe there's a lack of confidence due to not having a database that had more examples of these opportunities. That's exactly what I think happened, because mind you, I did have a couple opportunities in my database, but I didn't have enough. I had about 3 or 4. I should have at least 50 plus, and that's obviously me from my fault for not preparing correctly. So when I did go look back into these examples, the examples I had were let's see my Evernote here. I'll just move this over. So my examples, I'll just type in parabolic here. So these are the ones I'm taking, doing recently: mineral sector hype, and then also top, and I'm reviewing the top of some of these names, and then CRML as well. Um, I was looking. I didn't want to look for names like Octo recently, where like they went up 2,500%, and you know, oh, that doesn't exist anymore. What is it now? Oops. What was Octo now? Sorry, I forgot what their name is. But anyways, for another example, like SNTG is another one. Like, these names went straight up, right? These are not the ones that I was trying to trade, obviously, so I could have used these as examples. The only ones I really had were these. These all have parabolics in the names? Guess so. I don't think so. Parabolic. There we go. Okay, so the first one was SMCI. Now, this one, almost all these, literally all of these, what was I gonna say? All of these minerals names, they look exactly like this. Like coming out of a base, pretty big base, the right sector, right hype. At least the bigger names did. Like kind of like ABAT here looks, right out of a base. I mean, this thing looks identical to me. Pretty damn near the same. UAMY, same thing, kind of out of a base. Here, TMQ, this was like yeah, same thing, out of a base, getting parabolic. This one wasn't as parabolic as the other ones. This one also is more gold, so I don't know why this was in here. This one as well, same thing, out of a base. You can look at all of these names. This one is not right. Out of a base here. Most of these names you'll see come out of a base, and they look almost identical. This one is gold, I think. They look pretty much all the same. Now, some of these are worse than others, as you can see here. This one here, I mean, if you look at this candle here, does this not look exactly like this one? Like, almost damn near the same. So, I was going to base off SMCI and MSTR. I have it in my database. I just don't have it tagged, I guess. So this was the first pretty big red day that I had during this run, and so I stocked it. You can see here, I have previous videos on this one, but it kind of failed in the morning, bounced up, but didn't break those pre-market highs and just sold off. Just sold off all day. Big range here, and then kept selling off. And I did it. Here's other multiple charts: 5-minute chart. Here's a 15-minute chart. You can see the pre-market levels were never broken. They never went past the pre-market level, so you can definitely use that as a stop out first thing in the morning if you want to get in immediately. So this was the move here, the big reversal, and then it continued, but there was no setup after this. It was pretty horrible trader. Now Circle, I don't think Circle was a pretty good example of this one. I did a deep dive on this one as well. Yeah, this one wasn't very good. I mean, it did kind of trade the same, but the move the move wasn't as big as these other names. Let me type in MSTR. Here we go. So this is another parabolic short from MSTR, almost the same thing, just like SMCI, coming out of base. It's just flowing, and then it starts to get parabolic, gaps up, and then gets flushed out. So you can see here, I mean, this is all the same setup, all the same, exact same setup. So this is the examples I was using. I think my I have a Nikola one. I don't know if this one was parabolic as well. I think it goes even more than this. I think this day here, was it 35? No, this one, the 90 day. That's the one that I was looking at. But you can see also this one parabolic as well. And the same thing. Gaps up, you want to wait for it to gap up, and then it just sells off first thing in the morning. Just sells completely off. So that was my thesis going into this trade, is to probably grow some pair of balls and fucking short it right at the morning. So I prepared for that, I think, on Monday. I think I was studying all day Monday and then looking for more ideas. So the prep was there. I just didn't have enough in my database, I believe. Okay. What one improvement will ensure consistent pre-market prep next week? I think I did pretty good on pre-market prep. I looked at previous, even the morning of when I shorted CRML that day, I still studied those names, and I was looking at volume and how far it was away from the 10-day, and things like that. And I think I did pretty well on this one. I think I did pretty well. I just couldn't execute. I mean, I was right. Didn't make money on it, but who cares? Um, who cares that I was right? I just couldn't execute. Just being soft. That's all it is. Just not confident in the setup. So execution versus opportunity set. Did trades align with setup scan that were truly in play? Yes, I do believe my trades did align with setups that were scanned, and these stocks were truly in play. Also, Friday, I was looking at gold, specifically this miner here, and just I woke up early and I saw videos of people waiting in line to buy gold. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Gold's at $4,300. I woke up, I don't know, forgot if it was Thursday, and it was like, oh, $300 billion been added to gold. Gold is now 30 trillion. This is ridiculous. And I was like, well, this one and Mux were the names I was looking at to short. I didn't like this one due to it failing on Thursday, so I think HL was my go-to. I mean, there was other names like Nugget. I could have been trading better ranges, but anyways, going back to this. How many quality A plus setups did you take? 0. And how many did you miss? Probably 8. Let's go through these names right now. I had 3 on my watch list. No, 4. 4 main ones. I had ABAT. Mind you, I was shorting Tuesday. So in the morning, on this Tuesday day here, right, it did exactly what it planned on doing, or I planned on it doing. It gapped up over this close here. Let's see. Gapped up right around 7-8%, and it completely just collapsed first thing in the morning, went straight down, and then it bounced all the way. Oh, sorry. Went straight down here, and then it bounced all the way and just ripped everybody short who was short in the morning. Kind of just ripped their face off because it ended up closing green, obviously, here. Was it this day here? Yeah, it was this day. There's no data here. Was this day here? Yeah, this day here. Here you go. No. Okay. Yeah, here it is. So it gaps up, see, to like previous day's highs, kind of just below it, and just completely collapses in the morning. It goes down 14.5%, and I'm like, okay, well, this is it. And all these other names did the same exact thing. So this was on my watch list, CRML. So I was, guess, a day early. But I think these were great setups because CRML kind of gapped down, which is what I didn't want to happen. CRML, same thing here. See the gap up, much bigger gap up than so 28% gap up, and just look completely sold off in the morning. It was down roughly 18%, and then just bounced all the way back up and closed just below what it opened. So what was another one? UAMY. UAMY was another one on my setups here. This one I think was the best setup out of all of them, due to it, I think, being like one of the leaders, and it played out perfectly. Excuse me. Look, first thing, gaps up pretty big. I mean, and it continuous gaps. Like this thing, to give it credit, or credit is due, this thing had continuous gaps. Here, I mean, I guess it got weak, gapped up, sold off, gapped up, gapped up. I mean, this one as well, but I guess UAMY was just a better looking setup. Just gap, 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 just kept gapping, and then it finally gapped. This is parabolic here. Yeah, back up 17%, and just like all the other setups, like SMCI, MSTR, and Nikola, kind of same thing, just sold out first thing in the morning. Now this one was on my main watch list. This one was on my main watch list. It was down already 21% in the morning. This was my main watch, but I didn't pull the trigger. I got soft. And then I tried to trade another name, which was CRML, and I lost on that one. And I took a much bigger loss than what I should have been. So, oh well. I actually really trusted in the setup. I really believed it. But my thing was, I shorted the bounce on CRML, and it obviously bounce a lot more than I shorted the bounce. Let's see if I can show the 2-minute chart. Let's do it real quick. Here, so I shorted the bounce here, right? So my thing was I was gonna wait for it to get to VWAP. Hopefully it rejected VWAP, and then once it started crashing below VWAP to you know, short it. So I shorted it right around here, 26 something, and it's got my face ripped off. Luckily, I used previous candles highs to get out. So yeah, that was that. Question answered. Let's go back. I didn't take any. And how many did I miss? There's countless. Throughout the week, maybe gold, a couple on gold, at least 4. You got Nugget, the HL one I was looking at, a couple other ones. Even gold futures. I could have traded gold futures in the morning. So like 3 or 4 setups on gold, and then like another 4 or 5 setups on. Oh, and not even counting quantum. There was like 12 setups this week. You can like if you look at Rigetti, with the weakness, with the especially this day here. Once it started, this is like the first time I think it's closed this week. No, I'm lying. This one here. Now these quantum names weren't as easily to short, but once you saw weakness on them, I think you could have just shorted them. Like, for example, let's go to 15-minute here. And the whole market was also getting weak as well. So I mean, I think the odds of this short working out were a lot higher than they would have been maybe here or here, due to the fact that the whole market was also kind of weak as well. See this day here, Wednesday. So, oh my gosh, sorry. Here's one quantum name, another quantum name. Let's go to my quantum sector here. ARC. Another weak name. This was being the biggest mover of all these. BTQ. Now this one I was expecting it to be the worst one of all. To be like the biggest drop, because this one is really a piece of trash. It really is. Out of all of them, I think this is the worst one. I haven't done enough research on it, but I just looking at it, I think I could be completely wrong. But even the weakness in these quantum names as well was another opportunity to get short. Although these weren't parabolics, to be fair, they weren't as parabolic as the minerals and materials, but they were pretty extended names for worthless stocks. But yeah. I mean, especially with this. Okay, so here I think the tell was obviously it got weak, and then it just bounced back the whole day. It reclaimed like 10% of this move, and then the next day it gaps down. I think that's a pretty tell. And then once I guess it started losing intraday. Let's go to the 2-minute chart here. I guess once it started losing VWAP, I think he just hammered in, right? So this is the open. Kind of breaks under below VWAP. I guess it tries to test it here. Yeah, okay, it just tests VWAP and you just short here. You use, I guess, the previous, well, yeah, you wait for it to reject VWAP, and then you wait for use this candle as highs, I guess. I'd have to look more into this, do more depth, but yeah, that could be another opportunity as well. Not as A+ as the other ones, but still some opportunities missed. For each setup missed, why didn't you execute? Fear, hesitation, distraction, lack of alerts, nerves. It was a mixture of, to be truthfully honest, it was a lack of previous studies, not having enough data in my database. I only have a couple of examples, as you saw. I need more to really gain confidence in the setup. And fear and confidence, I think, were other. Lack of alerts, that wasn't a problem. Distraction, there was no distractions. I was on my computer maybe an hour and a half before the market opened. Yeah. Or maybe an hour. I forgot how long. Anyways, there was no distractions. My phone was put away. Hesitation. Yeah, there was some hesitation due to lack of confidence and fear. So I've been in a pretty bad drawdown once again. And it is not fun, obviously. The market has been just going straight up, and I've made zero money. I've actually lost money. So I did have fear of losing even more money, but I did size up, coming back off of like a month break. So maybe not the best idea um, to be to go 3x size and actually 3x risk because the opportunity was there. But yeah, it would be lack of confidence and fear of losing money is what I think caused me to miss these. Um, yeah. What concrete adjustment will prevent missing similar setups? I think just gaining more confidence. What is this? Gaining more confidence and really trusting my setups and trusting in myself. There's been a lot of times where even on my Twitter, I'll post about a sector or I'll post about a specific name, and I won't do anything. I'll just be like, "Oh, it's setting up pretty well," like especially silver. Like I was all over silver. Um, I was all over silver here. Right? I did like a little post about it. It was like one of the best performing things, best setups. Same thing with uranium. In the same post, I talked about uranium. Um, I think I talked about the sector, but anyways, I mean, those had the best setups at that time, and I still didn't trust myself and buy those setups. I just lack of confidence. That's all it is. I think I just need to study more. It truly is. I just need to study more and believe myself. And I think this year has been a great year for so many examples, coming out of bases, high tide flags, regular flags, cup and handles, shorts, parabolic shorts, earnings, EPs, earnings gaps. There was so many examples this year, starting from April till now, and I think I need to study all those names. I've been slowly trying to get those names and start to study them. Just writing down the news, hype in a sector. We can see here, politics involved in a sector, like these mineral material ones. Um, Energy names, like real true leaders. I think we had a huge amount of examples this year. I think 2025 is a year to study. Um, Gold. It's just a bunch of different things just moving. Insane. It's truly look at how perfect this setup is here. I mean, look at this. This is gold. This is a perfect 5-star setup. This is a 10 out of 5. This is a perfect setup. I mean, you just got to study these things, right? Same thing with previous names like Crowd, right? Um, Coming out of a base here. I guess some people might call it a cup. I don't know what the pattern is. These software names that took off early. I mean, Hood as well. Look at this thing. Out of a big base, held up pretty well. These are just tons of names that just provided so many things. I think this is a big thing to study. All right. Next, weekly goal progress. What was your key improvement goal last week? I didn't have one, to be fair, so that one's kind of irrelevant. No, progress wasn't measurable because I didn't have one last week. I didn't do this video. I wasn't trading last week. Upcoming week, just simply trading the best setups and have confidence in your setups. I've studied quite a bit of stocks, not insane, not thousands, maybe hundreds, maybe if that, maybe 100. I have hundreds of screenshots, not thousands yet. Trying to get there, but there's specific setups that I think I need. Sorry. I think I need to look at the nuances of these setups. Is that something that I think I realize? Because I know what the setups look like. I just don't know what's going to get me into these setups. What I need to be looking for to allow me to get into these setups. I think that's what needs to be done. So what measurable goal is set for the upcoming week? Study. Measurable. I don't know about measurable. Let's see. What can I measure? I guess the amount of notes that new notes, maybe at least 2 this week, studying a certain sector or studying a certain setup. I think that would be a good one. Just study. All right. Weekly objective and vision. Well, was there a clear process objective to start the week? Yeah, I think so. It was to study these names that were going pretty parabolic. I think that was a good process objective to start for the week. I believe. I really believe. How did pursuit of the objective look each day? Just simply waiting for the setup to occur, sitting there and then analyzing the trade after, the opportunities after, what the nuances were that could have gave you a better entry per risk reward. I think that's something that I did pretty well. Although I didn't obviously make money, but I did do that. Where did focus drift and why? I would probably say social media. Um, I have limits on my phone now for that, so that's getting better. And I think that's my phone is really addicting. To be truthfully honest with you, there I go again. Truthfully honest, I think it's pretty addicting, and trying to get away from using it, and instead of using that time to be on social media, uh, to study. That's what I think I really did well this week as well. Really studied and really paid attention to the market rather than being on my phone all the time. How will alignment with objectives be maintained despite emotions or distractions? I think you just have to. I think this is a case of. Um, this is a case of showing how bad I guess you really want it. Especially talking to myself. Recently I sit there and I'm like, why am I not waking up on time? Why am I not doing the studying? Am I content with myself? Um, is this the life I want to live right now? Just being a losing trader? Why do I do these things? I know what I need to do. I know what it takes to do these things. It's not that hard. It just takes time, and obviously it's not entertaining. But you do learn and you study these names and you get better. But I just don't know what or why I don't do these things. So my objectives are probably to once my time limit on my phone for social media runs out, then it's it. It's over. Runs out. I mean, there's if you do the time limit feature on your iPhone, you can say remind me, or it's like a feature. You have 1 more minute left or 15 minutes left, or you just leave it on for the rest of the day. And times I just do 15, and I keep clicking the 15, and then I'll end up doing 3 hours on social media instead of the 1 hour that I programmed. So obviously keeping to that 1 hour of social media a day. Also, I do have work, and then I work out, so that time I need to stay healthy, and obviously I need to make some money on the side to keep this funded. Um, so I think the big one, I think it's keep studying and creating more examples, and looking at the nuances of these examples. I think that'll be more beneficial to my. And then also one thing I do is I'll watch videos on trading, or I'll watch people's videos on trading, and I'll read about trading. And no matter how many times I read or watch a video, it could be the best fit in the world. It can teach me exactly what to do. Unless I'm not studying these things and learning how they move and visually seeing and feeling how they move, that's like reading a book about baseball and trying to become a pro athlete, a pro baseball player without ever throwing a ball. Like you can know everything there is to know about baseball, but if you can't play it, if you physically can't throw a ball and hit a ball, you're never gonna be a pro baseball player. So why am I over here reading and watching videos all day, thinking I'm doing work when I'm not doing any work? Truly, I'm not. Truly, I'm not. Some days I do. I'll put 2 3 hours of studying and working, but then I'll take the next 3 days off, and I'll fuck off for a week or two, and I just need to put in the work. That's all it is. So alignment of my objectives: keep studying at least 2 hours a day. The working out and work is fine. Just find a way, and get off social media and stop watching other people's videos and think you're working out. It's fine to watch other people's videos, see their opinions and things like that, but to think it's work to watch other people's videos and you're putting in the work, quote unquote, that's not a thing to do. Speed and information advantage. How early were entries relative to the sweet spot of moves? Way late. Actually, I think that day I was way late for CRML. Let's go here. Where am I looking for? What am I looking for here? So all these ones this day. CRML, AREC, the entry was in the morning. You would have taken 15% probably off each of them. That would have been a great move. And then once it reclaimed over VWAP, then you kind of got out. That's how I would have traded them if I was in early in the morning. But since I missed the sweet spot, it caused me to lose. So, for example, CRML. Let's look at this on the 2-minute chart. Let's go here. Let's go back to what I was talking about before. I missed this entry here. This here on this day is a setup. This is the perfect setup. Now, sometimes it won't work, right? Like it did today for me on this day here. But here, you catch the open. Okay, that's up. What's the open at? Here. You catch it, you claim 17%. I think most people would be great with 17% return in a day on a single stock. But since I missed this here, I figured, in my experience, from what I've seen, that they come back to VWAP, maybe come just above it, kind of create a little flag, and then arrange, and then break below VWAP. So what I did was I sat here patiently, and it came up over VWAP, and I just sat here and I said, don't get in yet. Wait for it to break down. So it did break down, and then right after that, it just reclaimed it right back up. I got out, and then it reclaimed the rest of the day, and it broke past the highs, and then got weak later in the day, and then gapped down the next day. So missing this A plus setup in the morning. I don't know if I would have held it for an all day fader, I guess, type of setup. But I think my entries were pretty late. Or my one entry. The other entries I just didn't take because I was soft, which is the reason why I didn't get into the sweet spot in the first time. And especially gold. I didn't take advantage of that either. Will cause any delays? Being soft, I guess. Not being confident. That's all it is, truly. And not doing the work. That's what it is. What step will help you speed up recognition/reaction next week? Feed filters, alerting, faster annotation, bar replay. I think just like it all comes back to studying. Studying and studying the nuances. I literally saw it happening in front of my. I was sitting here, right here, and looking at this. You can see here. You can see the charts, and just literally they were going straight down. And even in the first minute candle, when it closed red, I still didn't short. After I just couldn't. I just couldn't bring myself to short. I don't know what's wrong with me. Just not confident. What step will help speed up recognition? Oh, I already said that already. Yeah, I think studying. Were bar replays of best trades done? No, I don't do bar replays. I don't think it's beneficial for me. Maybe as like a short-term trader, maybe bar replays are great. But for swing trading, which is what I'm doing, I think the daily is like enough, and then maybe on the 5-minute. So I don't think bar replays are essential for me. I truly believe. Did replay A plus setups for pattern recognition? Did replay A plus setups for pattern recognition? Oh no, I didn't. How will time be scheduled for at least 2 replay sessions on a personal playbook setups? Maybe getting a software that is able to do replay setups. I don't know anything right now that does replay setups. Other than visually seeing in my mind how it happened, especially on these shorts. Maybe I should do replay setups. Maybe specifically for this setup, for a short parabolic setup. And then for long-term swing trading, I think it's kind of fairly simple. That I've seen much more times than this short parabolics. Risk management and sizing discipline. Elite coach add-on. Okay, were max daily stop, size rules, and risk plan followed on every trade? I only did one this week, and yes, they were all followed. Although my risk was increased due to the opportunity of the setup, it was still followed, I believe. If rules were broken, when and why? They weren't really broken. I only took one trade, so I didn't break any rules. Did oversized trades help or hurt? I actually did oversize in the beginning. I was gonna short 3,000 shares right at 20. Where is it? Right around here. Once it broke, I was gonna be 3,000 shares, but then I realized this is the range was kind of big for the size. 3,000 shares was pretty large for my account size. Pretty large, and I started to realize like, well, if this thing gets away from me really quickly, I'm gonna get screwed. So I cut that in half. Even with that half size of my original size, it still was too much. 1,500 shares, I think it was still much. I ended up losing like $1,000 on this trade, which is around 3% of my account. So, I mean, I did size up pretty big. I usually use risk 1%, but this opportunity was much bigger. And if it did work out, let's see, I mean, risking that same amount up here, as you can see, 1,500 shares at $30, and then covering at 25. That's a what, 25% gain in my account. Well, I don't know what the math is on that. 1,500 times 5 is around $7,500. $7,500 on like a, that's quite a bit of return, and that would have been a 20% plus return. So even with the 1,500, my initial size was 3,000, so and way oversized. So that would have broken. That would have hurt. So oversized trades did hurt. It did hurt a lot. It would have hurt a lot. What adjustment will secure consistency next week? Just following the rules. I don't really stray off this risk reward stuff. I've always, ever since getting into this trading thing, it was always keep your risk in check, and that's, I guess, allowed me not to blow up ever. I've never been close to blowing up at all. So I always have my risk in check. That's the number one thing. Everyone always says that'll keep you in the game a long time, and it's obviously worked because I've been doing this since about 2021, on and off, and I'm still in. So that's good. Emotional and mental game check-in. What emotions came up more frequently? 100% fear. Initially, here's how it went. Initially, it was, I would say, greed. Now, it wasn't greed the fact that I was greedy in terms of like, oh, I was up big and then I got greedy and didn't cover. It was more of like a greed, like, oh, this is a big opportunity and I should probably size it huge. I don't know. I wouldn't qualify as greed. I didn't go on tilt. The only emotions I did really feel truly was fear. I really had a big fear. I was really confident in the morning. Let's say an hour, 45 minutes before the market opened, and as we got closer to the market open, the confidence started going down. Um, it's kind of weird now that I'm thinking about it. The closer I got to the market open, I guess I was sitting there and I was like, okay, this is truly gonna happen. Like I really gotta make the trade now. I'm not just sitting here and thinking about it and like, oh, okay, imagining in my mind what is possible and what this thing is gonna do. Now that it's here, it's like, all right, buddy, are you gonna pull the trigger? And that fear crept in this more closer as I got to market open. And yeah. So did emotions impact execution or decisions? Give one example. Yeah, I think I just gave an example right now. Fear. The fear caused, and even Friday's trading, it caused me to not short gold either on HL and on the gold futures. I don't have access to gold futures on here. I don't believe. But if you look at any, let's go for Nugget, I guess. Like this thing with the market, even gold gap down pretty big as well. But just didn't pull the trigger. I had fear. I have fear every time these opportunities come. So everything this week got impacted by fear. Sometimes I wish I could just take fear out of my freaking head. Just like, just pull it out from my right ear. Get in there, boom, take it out. And I just don't have fear. how was regulation handled in real time? I'm really good at stepping away. It's very easy for me. If I lose money, I don't really have that tilt. I've done it in the past, and I've learned from it. Tilt is not really a thing that really happens to me. Um, so stepping away, getting away from tilt, that's easy. Journaling, I think, did help. Although it wasn't in real time, it was later in the day. Journaling kind of did help with like realizing that I need to do more studying and that I was soft. Breathing also does help in real time. Just taking like a deep breath. But should I read? Should I be taking a deep breath? I think that to me means I'm oversized. Um, if I'm like, my heart rate goes up and I'm like shaking, putting in this order, and I gotta sit there and breathe and worry about this trade. I don't think it's the right size. I should be able to take this trade and be like, okay, yeah, like this is good. Um, I'm comfortable with the size. I'm comfortable with the risk. You have to be comfortable with the risk in order to be comfortable with the size, I believe. I think that might coincide together, so that might be a stupid statement. But what will be done differently next week to maintain peak state? I think I think what I did this week was good. The studying, the recapping every night, the recapping every morning, the looking for setups, looking what was moving, where the money's going, what's going to cause these things to move. And I think that's what helped quite a bit. Oh, sorry, there was no audio. Um, we'll be done differently next week to maintain peak state. Uh, just maintain size and only trade the best setups. Performance metrics and edge development. I might have talked about this already. No, I didn't. What were win loss ratio, average gain versus loss, and expectancy for the week? Um, I didn't expect anything for the week. My win loss ratio was 0. I had 0 wins, 1 loss. So 0. Average gain versus loss. Last week, I guess it was $1,000 loss versus no gain. So this one, yeah, don't really know what this question. What percentage of setups were playbook versus impulse trades? They were all the setups were playbook trades, playbook setups. None of them were impulse. Actually, I'm lying. Well, it was playbook. It just didn't work out, so I couldn't call it an impulse trade. Once I missed the first initial step, my next entry was to short VWAP. So that is not an impulse trade. It was part of the plan. Um, I've done that before in the past, and it seems to work on these names too when they look at these. Do I have intraday? Intraday of. Here we go. If you look at the intraday chart here, kind of. This one never got back to VWAP, but all right, right. Look at MSTR here. This is not. This is the 15-minute chart. So you can see here, kind of. I don't think I had VWAP on these charts back then, but it does take a bounce intraday. I'm assuming here it would have been VWAP or near VWAP. So bouncing towards VWAP, and then bouncing back down, or bouncing, touching VWAP, creating range, and then going back down. Typically happens. So it was not an impulse trade. Were new notes or refinements added to the playbook from trades? I would say yes, absolutely. New notes were added. You can see here, if I go back to home, oh, why does it look like this? I don't like this. Notebooks. Here we go. I'm talking about it through here. Creating intraday charts as well on some of these names. Quantum Death for now. So this was, I actually did this back in the first time Quantum died. The DeepSeek, that's what this was. And then I was looking back at it, so I didn't really, this is not new. Also, this one was the reasoning why the mineral sector was so hype, or what the hype was surrounding it. Um, so this is some stuff, and then what names were affected. And then I took a deep dive into CRML to see why this one actually took off in the first place when I was trading. And then, yeah, that's all. These were new notes all added this week. One, two, three. Three new notes. So I think that was pretty good. Where am I? Which setup showed the highest edge, and how will execution or sizing improve? The setup was parabolic short was the best setup this week across quantum, gold, and I would say metals and minerals, along with anything related to that type of sector. I think those showed the highest edge this week. And how will execution and sizing improve? Execution will improve by, once again, studying more and studying these setups. And sizing will improve by my risk, how much I want to risk. That will cause my sizing. Yeah. Okay. Next ones. No, I don't think any hotkeys or anything like that is gonna help. Really. Accountability commitment. What's the number one priority for improvement next week? My number one priority is to build confidence. Build confidence and start to lose fear. I think those coincide with each other. Uh, those, I think those are opposites of each other. So I think if I just gain confidence, I'll lose the fear. Um, so I think working on the confidence, I think it's more important than trying to lose the fear, because I think if I gain the confidence, I'll lose the fear. So um, I think that's my going to be number one improvement. Now, I do not see any really setups coming into the week. Maybe just keep shorting gold and keep shorting these weak names. Just catching them on a bounce, I guess. Catching them to, I guess, declining moving averages and shorting from there. Shorting the true backside. Not shorting the top. So, what daily process change is committed to? What daily process change is committed to for making the improvement real? Um, just studying at least an hour on setups. Going back, looking for parabolic names, um, or maybe, yeah. I don't think a process change needs to be committed in terms. What I mean by this is a process in terms of like, oh, I need to wake up earlier. I need to do these things. I need to add searching through this new source, or searching through this new source. I think my process right now, currently, waking up, um, going to cleaning out a watch list, looking for what's moving, looking at what the news is for the days on the stocks that are up. What's the new? Is there a new theme yet? What's going on? I think that is pretty much all good and clear. Now, paying more attention to detail to that, I think it's what needs to improve, and creating maybe a game plan before, like the night before. So for like today, let's say Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. If I did see a setup for tomorrow, I think today would be the day to be okay. Here are the scenarios that could happen. If this scenario does happen, the one that I want, then I'm gonna take this action. Um, that's something I do now as well. So I think my whole process, I think, is doing well. It's doing good. I just need to build more confidence. Will this review make you proud or embarrassed if sent to a coach, / accountability partner, and why? Probably proud, because, well, I wouldn't be embarrassed. This is truth. This is the truth of my trading career right now. This is the things that I'm going through. I don't know. I'm assuming this is what everyone has gone through. Every successful person, at least. I would hope to show I'm on the right path. And I think I'm being truthful. I'm not. I don't want to lie to myself at all, because lying to myself only makes me lose more money, and I'll never make it. I think being truthful to myself and realizing, like, hey, you're not putting in enough work. You're not doing these things. You're not um, taking the time to go into depth on the setup, or um, building confidence by studying. Um, I'm being truthful in here, and I'm telling myself straight up and looking at myself in the mirror and looking myself in the eyes and telling myself, like, look, listen, you suck. Um, you need to put some more work in, or else you're never gonna make it. You're gonna be like this for the rest of your life. Do I want that? No. Um, and I need to probably start kicking up a gear, and not only studying, but in terms of focusing on this. Um, yeah, so it would probably make me proud. I wouldn't say proud, but just truthful. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be embarrassed to send this to anybody, if they even if they understand it or not. Um, it's just for me. I wouldn't really be embarrassed about it at all. I think this is good. It's good work that I need to do. Yeah. So final step: write a 3 to 4 sentence, or I'll just say it here. Summary letter to future me, recapping this week, pointing out sticking points, and reminding yourself what to focus on for the next Monday. This process balances execution, psychology, and data tracking, keep helping to create consistent, honest self feedback over time. All right. I would say, first off, recapping this week, there was might have been the most opportunity in my career, I guess, or realizing um, most opportunity for parabolic shorts setups. I think in a week, at least from my understanding. Now, mind you, I haven't been full. I've only been full time trading since August 2024. But I did have on and off periods. But once again, I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't know the nuances. I still don't really know the nuances. I wasn't really paying attention to detail. But really, this week I really realized, like, holy smoke, there's a lot of opportunity this week upcoming. I can just see it um, through like social media. I can see it, especially X, not other social medias. Actually, even through TikTok, I saw TikTok. This dude was pumping. Wasn't really pumping, but he was like, "Oh, if you want to get rich like me, buy CCX and Honda." And I was like, "These are the complete worst companies I've seen in a while." I don't even know what this thing does. And I think I saw some Capybara Research. I think that's who they are. Had a short report on this. Whatever. But worthless. And I was like, okay, this is getting near some sort of short-term top. So other than that, whatever. Blah blah blah. Reminding myself what I need to focus on next Monday. Just build more confidence in your setups, and like everyone says, every real trader says, it's built in studying and experience. But it's I just need to study more. Process, I think, is pretty fine. Execution process, this process, okay, sorry, I'm getting out of whack here. Um, I think I just need to keep track of moves that happen during the day. So, right, the shorts, I study that for the day, keep it in my database, and just look back on it later. Shorting, just to see what uh, a sector that's gotten hype on, and it's gone parabolic. I think it's my first time I've seen something like this, other than quantum. Truly, I don't think I've really paid attention to something like this happening, especially with gold, especially with metals and minerals. Um, so I think really paying attention to the opportunities that happen throughout the week and bookmarking those and studying those, I think can give you great edge in the future and confidence. And I think this will all in turn give you what you want, which is being a consistently profitable trader. Um, just have some more trust in yourself. You're on the right path. You're doing the right things. You're on the right sides when you need to be. Your timing's just a little off, and I think that's due to your confidence. And I think that's about it. That's all I would say to myself today. This is the video. This is the video for today. Weekly recap. I talked about some of my trades that I took once I was looking into RML. I did a recap on that one earlier this week as well. But there was tons of opportunity, tons of A+ setups, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Also, you can see the weakness in the overall market by something like this last week. Just with that crypto. Crypto got wiped out. Tariffs news. Just a bunch of telltale signs that we were kind of getting lower. Credo, which was a strong AI stock, has kind of started went out of the 10, went out of the 20. So I've seen some weakness. A-Lab, another one, another AI darling, I think they call it. Another one that started to fail. Hood, getting weak. Palantir is holding up pretty well, holding up very, very well. Nvidia also kind of started getting weak. A big red day, kind of going sideways, building a pretty big range here as well. Open, kind of just people I think just forgot about this name, truthfully, and just getting rid of it. So this kind of got air sucked out of it. Electronic components, they weren't doing too bad. Let's see here. There we go. Just whack Solid Power, CLS. Actually, this sector was doing pretty well. BE, I think one of the big leaders. So sector wasn't doing too bad. Let's see. Yeah, this whole sector was just done. Not done yet, but NBIS, NBIS, another one, taking a hit. LEU, kind of in the same sector, kind of. Let's see, NAC, Ondas, another one, taking a hit. RR, you can see these high beta shitco companies were kind of taking a hit. You can see they weren't building higher lows anymore. They were kind of like selling off. That kind of was another tell. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. That's it for now. It's an hour-long video almost. Yeah, that's it. There's gonna be more of these on Sundays, hopefully, if I can get to it. I should be able to get to it. There's no reason why I shouldn't. So, all right, see ya.